This is a video I've been really interested to see the difference between the old versus the new. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the first ever men's driver I owned in my golfing career, the TaylorMade R7 SuperQuad. Here is the driver. Let's start off with the looks of this golf club just before we dive into comparisons with my new driver and this driver. Considering it's 15 years old, it is a very good looking club. I mean, I'm not being biased because this is my first ever men's driver, but I really love the look of that black crown head. You've also got this orange and black sort of finish to it, kind of matches with my logo. Oh wait, it's not on this one, but anyway. And they've also got the same on the shaft, as this is the bog standard shaft that they provided, which is a stiff flex 65 gram mid-tip shaft. This is quite a forgiving driver considering it looks a very small face in comparison to the new driver that I've got in the bag. But on the whole, it looks a really nice club. Don't you agree? Comment down below to let me know your thoughts on this driver. I tested it out on the GC quad, but I also took it out on the golf course. I mean, I forgot how good this driver felt. When you strike that out in the middle, geez, you can hear it from another hole away. So people there look at you down the hole going, oh, we just clearly hit a good shot. Well, that's kind of what you want, isn't it, really, when you're trying to get noticed like I am. On the quad, I noticed a lot of these shots started left of the target, and this is probably because I'm not used to having a club with so much offset. I'm quite surprised I didn't really notice this when I was a kid using it, but you probably wouldn't at that age because you wouldn't know any different. And when I was hitting these, they were going left and further left, which I completely hate, and you've probably noticed in a few different videos that I've done in the past where I've talked about this in a lot more detail, and it's a no-no for me. The spin rates, considering this was only a stiff shaft, it got up to 3,000 spin. There's no sort of weight being put at the front of the head to reduce the spin, and with a stiff shaft, which is 4 settings lower than what it should be for me, it came off really well. And it was carrying around that 260 to 270 yards, which is pretty impressive for a 15-year-old club. However, in terms of direction and consistency, there wasn't a lot there. Mainly going off to the left, and then when I tried to straighten things up, they would push out to the right. So on the whole, distance factor, really good, but direction and consistency, not so good. I noticed it was a much higher ball flight than what I'm used to with my current Callaway Epic Max LS driver. They were going very high up in the air, looking quite spinny considering what I'm used to. The stiff light shaft didn't help that. When I was trying to go at them a little bit more, I was noticing a lot more curvature to the left. So when I slowed my swing down, I realized that I was getting so much more consistency, more accuracy, and also sometimes even more distance. Now moving on to what I thought of this driver when testing it out on the golf course, and I hit a couple of shots from different tees. I noticed, yes, again, there was a lot of shots that were pulling left and going further left, and a few that went straight down the middle with a little bit of a draw, which I don't mind. I do like that little draw, that's what I usually play with. The trajectory was my concern. It was very high out on the golf course, and on that day that I was using this club, it was very windy. It was very difficult for me to control. Whereas when I decided to take my Callaway Max LS driver out onto the course, triple extra stiff shaft, low spinning head, set to 8 degrees of loft, and I forgot to mention that that one set to 10.5, I noticed a huge difference in terms of trajectory, distance, and direction. Trajectory was a lot lower, distance was around 30 yards further, on average being a difference of 24 yards. I did hit a few very poor shots with this, you know, a couple of blocks and a couple of little duck hooks in there as well, so bear those in mind. If I was to take those poor shots out, we're probably looking at 35 to 40 yards in total between these two in distance. Therefore, looking at modern technology compared to something that is 15 years old, it's quite difficult for me to compare the two because straight away I'm saying, well, this is the best one out of the two. but I was pretty impressed that something 15 years old was able to compete against something in this day and age. I'd love to take this out on the golf course with a triple extra stiff shaft, with a lower lofted head, with the weight more at the front of the head, just to see a comparison between these two, because it's very difficult for me to compare something that's designed for the average golfer and something that's designed for someone like myself. I even went to see John Daly, gosh, when I was only a kid, around 2014, 2015, and he was using this driver and he was explaining why he was using it, and he mentioned so much about the forgiveness, the look of the club, and it just felt dead easy to hit. So these characteristics, and considering that in their day and age, 15 years ago, that was the big thing. The SuperQuad was a great driver that came out on top. That is why he used that driver on tour. So having that backed up from John Daly, who is a PGA Tour professional who's won several events such as the Open Championship, that has something to say about this driver, because it was interesting to see the difference between them. Just little things like the shaft and the grip. I mean, I've never changed that grip before and it felt absolutely horrific, whereas when I was gripping onto this, it felt great. I might put a really fat grip onto that club just to see if it reduces the amount of curvature from right to left. If you'd like to see that video happen, why not comment down below to let me know, and I will get that done. And we can do a little comparison between before and then an after. Why not comment down below and let me know if you'd like to see that happen. Thank you so much for watching the video again, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on weekly content coming out every Tuesday and Friday. Lots of club reviews and coaching tips coming your way. Also, why not go and check out this video here, which will talk you through my review on the Callaway Rogue ST Pro irons. I'll see you over there.